Oh, I was just thinking, I was laying in the bed and I just couldn't get this out of my head. You know how, we get cold and we get warm, but we warm ourselves up. I feel like we prevent ourselves from adapting to any temperature that the weather is supposed to be in. If we knew how to adapt to cold weather, adapt to that coldness, because just think, the creatures out there, they are not getting under a blanket. They are not turning up the heat. They are not doing the things that's kind of preventing us from reaching our full potential. I feel like our full potential is being able to adapt to the cold weather. When it's cold in the ocean, those those creatures in the ocean or under the water don't have the adjustments to make the water warm. No, they have to adapt to whatever temperature the water is. If it's cold, then they adapt to it. They know what to do when the cold weather hits, when the water starts to freeze. Maybe when it freezes underwater, that could just be like fall time. A lot of creatures die. A lot of creatures, a lot of creatures die. And then that's when we repopulate during the springtime, summertime. And then, because that's just how life is. Maybe life underwater, it is a short attention span to where, a short lifespan to where they only live, spring, summer, and fall, and then they all die during the winter, and then that's when they repopulate. I don't know how that is. I wish I did know. But, that's the mysterious, thing about, life. We all have we're all on a different time. We will never know because I'm not a fish. I'm not underwater, so I will never know how that works. They might, how do they live under the zero temperature? As just like when a person falls into freezing cold water, they die instantly. How do fish live underwater on that temperature? It's because they adapt. I feel like, we watch a lot of movies about the Ice Age and this and that. And there was this one movie I was watching where they didn't, they was out as normal in the cold weather. It was snowing, it was freezing. It was freezing ice cold. And they out there, just as we would be out here in the spring, summer, they would be out here during those times doing what we doing in the summertime. It's because they've learned to adjust. They've learned to adapt, adjust, and accept the weather for whatever it is. I feel like we limit ourselves and we don't reach our full potential because we are so quick to go after something. We're so quick to go and try to fix the problem to meet our, to meet our expectations, or to meet us at a common ground, we try to take control of the situation too, so much that we can't really live the way we're supposed to live. Like I said, just like we got potential in our mind, our body has potential as well. Our body has potential as well. If we just allow it to, it's like we we baby ourselves, we spoil ourselves, just like a mother has a child and she's not, she shelters that child to the point where that child doesn't have a lot of experience out in the real world and doesn't know how to face the world how that child is supposed to face the world because it's been so sheltered to where that child is not equipped for, anything hard or difficult or complicated. That's kind of how we do with our bodies. We put on these clothes, we turn up the heat, we have heat adjustments, because we want to feel a certain way. We put on coats, we put on covers, and we just clothe ourselves to the point where I'm not allowing my body to feel this cold temperature. And that's the thing, we don't know what this cold weather can potentially have, how this weather can benefit us because we don't allow ourselves to feel it, to be in it, to adapt to that weather. We don't adapt to the weather and give ourselves a chance to adapt to the weather. So it's like we will never really reach our full potential because we don't allow it. We don't give it a chance. So yeah, I don't know. That's just something I just thought about and I want to speak on. I was really just thinking about how the freak do fish actually? They do. Like we be talking. They be like, you can't put a fish in a fish bowl at room. I mean, it has to be room temperature for a fish to live in a fish bowl. No, it don't. I feel like fish can live in cold, 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 cold water. It could be a freezing cold bowl and you put your fish in there. It shouldn't die instantly. The way these fish is adapted out there, the way these fish live out there, how a fish is naturally supposed to adapt to any temperature water. Any temperature water except, I guess, hot steam and hot water. But even then, we don't know because we're not out there in the water to know. So it's like a fish should adapt to any temperature water, naturally, any temperature water. You know, not room temperature, just natural temperature water. Natural water, it should be able to adapt because it's out there in the water, out in nature, and that's how naturally, like I guess I would say like if I was to go out there and catch a fish in a pond and put it in a bowl of water, I bet you it lives. Especially if I fill it up with that water. But I wouldn't think the water. Well, it is a difference between faucet water and the water. So I would actually, that's what I would do. I would take that pond water and the fish in it, and then boom, there go my water. For my pet fish. But yeah, I feel like maybe because of the chemicals and all this other stuff, we getting off topic. But yeah, I feel like that's how it's naturally supposed to be. But you go out here to pet stores and stuff and you get a fish, and these fish are very sensitive, and they don't know their full potential because we're telling it, oh yeah, you can't live like this, you can't go without that. I raised you to believe to a certain extent, to a certain limit. I raised you to believe that you were limited. So this is what we're telling those fishes in the pet store, like, we're limited your belief on your full potential. We're taking control of your life and telling you you can't go without this, you can't go without that, you can go with this, you can go with that, but you can't go without this. We're kind of acting in place of that pet's mind, getting it to, where we're training their mind to the point where this fish or this animal or this pet at that pet store won't ever know the full potential, its full capacity of, life, being wild, of the full potential of their natural abilities or the natural, natural abilities and potential, because we are acting as the mind, and we're saying no and preventing the growth. We're stunting the growth of that animal, because this is the way we wanted to live, because we wanted to live how we wanted to live. In order for you to stay with me and live with me in my space and, in my house, in my bowl, I have to train your mind to believe that you can't live this way or live that way, so that I can keep you for myself. And that's how we are. That's how we live. We won't ever know how far we can go. We won't ever know how much we can take, because we have been trained and raised to believe that we can't take. We can't take whatever is handed to us, when in actuality we can. So yeah, that's just what I had to say. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.